are raring to go. Who's going to come out on top in this fight?
Round one. Fight.
All right, first round. What's going to happen? Checks with the projectile. Plenty of time left. How's the match going to play out? It's the start of the round. How will they start their approach? Plenty of space between the two fighters, but who will decide to close the gap? They get the distance they want. Let's see their approach. Player 2 is just about out of drive after that. The drive gauge is completely empty, meaning their ability to block is also weak. Knockdown. Slips the grab. Reads the throw and shuts it down. Player 2 can't afford to get hit again, but still has a chance to take the round if they can find openings to use their drive. Good somersault kick. Their spacing is so on point right now, but who's gonna blink first? Both fighters in there. Player 1 picks up the first round. That'll give them a psychological advantage. There's an overdrive arm. How will they take advantage of everything that's happened up until now? They are not afraid to let the overdrive art fly, even when their drive gauge isn't topped off. Checks them with the boom. Still scrapping for control of the stage, experiencing burnout. Player 2 will have to deal with this dangerous bout of burnout for a while. Full SA meters on deck for both sides. Perfect execution with the anti-air. Player crowns him from above. Sonic boom. And they created a flatline zone. Player 1 made all the right moves, and this experience is only gonna make them stronger. Right back into the rematch. We ain't even close to done yet. Ooh, it looks like they're waiting to see what the opponent wants to do first. Blocks the jump in. Not much damage dealt so far, but they may be looking for an opening to run with. How are they going to deal damage? What's the play here? Uncomfortable space here. Can they clip each other on the edge? Player 1 chases them down. Keeping them in the corner will only produce more damage opportunities. Throws them to negate the block. Knockdown. Player 1 is maintaining the corner position for some juicy damage. Challenge from above. Both fighters planning something? Not much left in the tank. This will be a battle of nerves. Oh, this is... burnout activates. Wraps it up with a decisive combo. Player 1 with the first strike, but they can't get complacent. Drive time. Sonic boom. The Gladius blows them away. Player 1 will look to apply pressure here, experiencing burnout. Player 2 has an empty drive gauge. This is a very precarious situation. Out of drive gauge. Now's the time. Max SA gauges. Looking to impress with this super. The super hits, and this looks like it's gonna kill. Taking no prisoners. Player 1 took no time to finish that fight. How is this rematch going to play out? Are we going to witness a blow-up here? Shoots off a fireball up close. The jump-in is denied. Both fighters are pretty much unscathed. Okay, we're in the early stages of the round. A dangerous range here. You don't want to get jumped on a long recovery move, or you're going to eat tons of damage. Player 1 in that dangerous burnout state. Can they outlast it? Player 1 has used up all of their drive gauge. Checks with the projectile. Fireballs are risky, but if the opponent doesn't jump, they're one of the best ground game tools. Throws them to negate the block. Closes the gap for the grab. Neither of them willing to back off. Takes a trip. Player 1 creates a good corner opportunity. Somersault kick. Checks him with the projectile. KO. Player 1 picks up the first round. That'll give them a psychological advantage. They both showed their hands a little bit, so they must be thinking of a counter. Checks him with the boom. This fight is just underway. What kind of game plan do they have? Knockout and good somersault kick. You've got to be mindful of reach and jump-ins at this range. Drive rush to keep it going. Goes in the distance. Player one in dire straits with burnout. Jumps in, sees him coming, and shrugs it off with the super armor. Damn, scores an important armor break. Super arts on deck for both fighters. How they approach the situation will be interesting. Gotta be careful not to whip at clutch anti-air. Oh, puts the super armor in there. This is the final round. Expect to see some fireworks. Flies in with a fist to keep the pressure on. Player one, the super armor wasn't enough. Oh my god, they just choked it up. Handle with care. You can't drop drive impacts. Both are ready to pull the trigger on their super art. They're in range. We gonna see a jump in? A dash? The drive impact doesn't work. Player two has a big drive gauge lead. Let's loose a boom. Somehow manages to block that back row was huge. Boom! A real test of nerves here. Willing to risk it for the overdrive. They can't get hit. It burns out. Perfect damage calculation. No doubt about it. It is over. Player one delivers the upset. That's one for the replay. Knocked him out of the air. Throws a fireball. Sonic boom. Which fighter will control the pace of the match early on? This is the range where things get messy. Can they utilize their reach or bait each other out? Player two with the life lead. There's still a lot of fighting to be had. It's anyone's match. Plenty of space between the two fighters. Who will decide to close the gap? Back throw for the side switch. They refused to crack under pressure and got the side switch with the throw. Great work. Projectile to try and change the situation. Heading into the end game now, it's getting tense. This is the range where things get... That last attack took some courage. Player two on the board first with a win. They'll want to keep the pressure on. They both showed their hands a little bit, so they must be thinking of a counter. Sonic boom! Player two has the life advantage. There's been some back and forth, but no one has dominated the fight. Pushing through with the gladiator. Hits him with a stop and bop. They decide to take a breather to regroup. Out of range. Relatively safe. Misses the grab. Knockdown and... Player one can't use any drive moves without burning out. Drive gauge gap here. Checks him with the boost. Oh, snipe! Player one is in a very good spot now. What a finish! This is the final round. Expect to see some fireworks. Sonic boom. Sick super armor use. Zones with the fireball. Knocked them out of the air. They just said, get that jumping out of here. Player two has the life lead. Can they use it? Ooh, you never know what can happen here. Looking for a hole. Jumps! Ooh, what a smart blow. Uses their drive gauge. Can they use their drive to stage the comeback? Sick super armor use. Like pumps the brakes on the impact. Denied! Keeps cool and locks them out. Player one with the rhythm, owning that passes out the cage right there. Ooh, sends him a personalized telegraph with that frightening critical. And they muster up the nerve to fight back and take this round. Player two can't use any drive moves. Gotta play it safe. That was a magical shot. Player two clinches the win. But that could have been anyone's game. No way we could have called that. Gets the jump in. Checks him with the boom. The fight continues in the middle of the stage. What's the play here? Player 2 has the life lead. They've got a small life lead, but it's not over. Ooh, will they hit, whiff, or even charge in? Tricky territory here. Impact's a no-go. Checks him with the projectile. Player 1 is almost dead, but some clutch drive move gets him. Player 2 picks up the first round. That'll give them a psychological advantage. Parries the projectile. Perfect move. Sees him coming and shrugs it off with the super armor. Player 2 has a slight life lead. There's been some back and forth, but no one has dominated the fight. They're spacing. Going in, they were right to be on guard there. Player 2 can't use any drive moves without burning out. In there! We're going into the final round tied up. Which fighter has it in them to grind out the win? It's time for both fighters to lay it all on the line. Sonic Boom! Throws a fireball. Reads the jump in perfectly. They just said, get that jump in out of here. Dangerous range here. Ooh, you never know what can happen here. This is where smart meter management is going to come into play. Our fighters will need to tread carefully. Sonic Blade for some cover fire. Let's loose a boom. Player 1, solid anti-air. Boom! Nice fireball. With super arts into play, it's really anything goes at this point. The low kick hits. What's next? This is the turns out. What are they gonna do? This is a gigantic life lead. Perfect input. Execution. Yo, critical art now. Wraps it up with a throw. Player 2 was an absolute beast in that match. They're still hungry. Both sides stepping up for the rematch. Checks him with the boom. Flies in with a fist to keep the pressure on. Projectile to try and change the situation. A battle of egos on display here as neither fighter wants to give up any ground. The low kick connects. Picks up some damage with a long-reaching attack. What's their game plan here at this critical stage? Parries to cancel the fireball. Flies in with a fist to keep... Burnout activates. Where is their opening? Heading into the end game now. It's getting tense. Player 1, how will they utilize this? Oh, they were right to be on guard. Gets the counter hit for the win. They're so good at whiff punching. Player 1 picks up the always important first round. They'll want to keep the ball rolling. They both showed their hands a little bit, so they must be thinking of a counter. Show the medium kick. Blocking that drive impact isn't going to work. Player 2 will need to play it conservative until their drive returns. There's a wall splat. They can't do anything now. Player 1 holding on to that corner advantage. Knockdown and burnout activates. Looks like they want to put a new KO. That was a clinic on how a solid neutral game wins matches. Right back into the rematch. We ain't even close to done yet. Holds out with the block. A dangerous range here. You don't want to get jumped on a long recovery move, or you're going to eat tons of damage. That's some big juicy damage on that counter hit. Taking stock. Goes for a projectile to try and change the pace. Good job blocking the jump in. They're showing us just how patient they can be. Player 1 chases them down. There's a wall splat. They can't do anything now. They were right to be on guard there. Player 2 ends the round with a sick combo. Amazing. Player 1 takes the round like a thief in the night. What else can they get away with? Somersault kick. Projectile to try and change the situation. Checks him with the boom. So they break forward to pressure the opponent. Medium kick. Perfect input on the sonic boom. The engagement here will have a huge effect on the rest of the match. Sonic boom. Shows a medium kick. Check puts the super armor to good use. Checks with a medium kick. Perfect boom. They're going for the super art. Player 1 will look to apply pressure here. They gotta be careful not to overextend or their opponent might go for a side switch. Uses the gauge for a super art. Right lead is there, but still anyone's game. Looking for a chance. Lets loose a full can. This drive brings them back and eats it. Comes for them with a hit them with a quick low kick. This is the final round. Expect to see some fireworks. Uses their drive gauge. Break low heavy. It puts the super armor to good use. Which fighter will control the pace of the match? Solid anti-air. They just said, get that jumping out of here. Super armor. Hold and calculate. What now? Connects with the throw. Both absolutely refusing to give up ground. Anti-air in the clutch. Lets loose a boom. Escapes the corner. Boom. Reads the jump in perfectly. Perfect execution with the anti-air. Are you kidding me? Player 2 was definitely sweaty during that well-earned win. It's not over yet. Best believe it's time for that run back. Hits the drive. Checks him with the boom. Somersault kick. Parries the projectile. Now what's the follow? Saw the projectile easily. They'll want to be careful of positioning here while on the lookout for more projectiles. The low kick connects. Uses a long-range attack there to zone them perfectly. Okay, they trade hits. This is the range where things get messy. Can they utilize their reach or bait each other out? They are not afraid to let the overdrive art fly, even when their drive bait isn't top KO. Player 2 sets the tone with that win. Let's see if they can keep it up. Fires off in overdrive. Checks him with the boom. Perfect boom. That combo did decent damage. Both fighters planning something? Nice read. Denies them with a somersault kick. Sonic boom. Drive rush to keep it going. Hits them with a stop and block. Ends the meter. Hoping for a good return. Wraps it up with a decisive combo. Player 2 brings it home. Let's see if they can build themselves a streak. Right back into the rematch. We ain't even close to done yet. Checks him with the projectile. Parries the projectile. Now what's the follow-up? Both fighters are pretty much unscathed. How are they going to deal damage? What's the play here? Player 1 is just about out of drive after that. On dangerous turf. Easy to get tagged at this range. All right. Both sides looking for an opening. Checks with the projectile. You know their fireball game is solid because they're only throwing it when their opponent can't jump them. Handily escapes the throw. What's the play here? Limited resources at hand right now. Are they going to press on the attack or hang back? Well-timed corner switch. Player 2 has used up all of their drive gauge. How much damage can they deal before the opponent's drive gauge replenishes? Player 1 chases them down. Oh, easy tag. Sonic boom! Big, low, reaching heavy. So they break forward to pressure the opponent. Checks with a medium. They kept a close eye on the skies and it paid off. Good reaction there. Player 2 on the board first with a win. They'll want to keep the pressure on. Challenge from above. Player 1 had a rough go of it last round due to poor drive management. But there's still time to adapt and turn this match around. Level 3 super! Sending that meter like it's nobody's business. Player 1 is working with a better gauge. What can they do with it? You've gotta be mindful of reach and jumpings at this range. Player 1 needs to use their SA gauge, and a gutsy fireball gives them the round. Player 2 took no time to finish that fight.